Alright, you beautiful Brigandine players, welcome back to my armor guide for Brigandine, the Legend of Runersia. So we're going to go overhead and going to check this out for a little bit here. And if you're new to this game, this is the light robe gear. I'm just going to call this the light robe section here because it's really robes that are here, obviously. So we're going to go overhead and check this out. Later on, they change the name to Vestment. I find the interesting verbiage that they put in this game interesting, and I try to make a guide. It gets a little confusing as to what to use. But if you're new to this game here, what I wanted to say is that there are three types of armor. There's three tiers of armor. There's the white with the 1 star, the purple with the 2 stars, and what I call gold with the 3 stars. Now that just basically means that just determines the rarity of where you're going to find it and how many you're going to find of it. So we're going to go ahead and start with the lowest piece of gear here and talk about this and see what it can do for you. So we're going to put on the priestly robes, and on the right you can see my CP value going up, which is my combat power, and my hit points. Okay, so that's really, it seems like that's all it's doing for me right now. So let's go ahead and press square and check out the stats here. So 10 hit points and 3 evasion. So it makes my knight a little more evasive here. So plus 3% and plus 10%. So that's actually pretty good. But that is one of the weakest pieces of gear according to what the game has to say. So let's check out some other stuff here. The Pilgrim Robe. Okay, so this one has defense, hit points, and evasion. So that's actually pretty good. I actually like that. It doesn't have as many hit points, but defense and evasion and hit points, all pretty good solid stats there. Okay, so that's the Pilgrim Robe. We already checked that one out. The Spider Silk Robe. Let's put this one on. So it looks like it has a lot more. Okay, so defense goes up to 4, hit points up to 10. Quite good, even better, but it loses the evasion stat. Okay, just to let you know. Okay, Magic Robe. Now this one looks like it's less CP value, so let's see why. Defense of 4, evasion of 5, no hit points. I guess that's why, because you're not really getting any hit points off this one, but evasion of plus 5 isn't so bad. But then again, evasion versus hit points, it really comes down to the chance to evade versus just the overall bulk of hit points to just be able to handle the attack. And I guess that's why they put the CP value down there, because hit points seem to be better than evasion in this game. I would actually kind of agree. The chaining effect that you get from being surrounded is quite powerful in this game. Actually, more powerful than the previous 2 iterations of Brigandine combined. Okay, so the leather robe, let's see what it does here. So defense of 8. So this is the basic top tier gear that you can get that is white, the lowest highest gear that you can get. Usually goes about 8 defense points that it'll give you, and that's quite good. That's very good. So if you just want just a basic solid piece of gear, look for a leather robe for one of your mages here, because an enemy is a mage. Whether you go into the healing class or you go into the sorceress class, it doesn't matter. You're going to be equipping the same kind of gear here for this. Only the weapon, the physical weapon changes. All the other things basically stay the same. So, okay, so the black robe. So that's our next piece of gear to put on. So we're on the second tier here with the 2 stars of the purple lettering robes. So what do we get out of it? Well, we get hit points. We get a purple orb, which helps us defend against black elemental things, and defense of 3. So if you had to fight off against him or a dark dragon, this could be a good defense against you, because the extra black orb for defense would help you push back, resist their attacks onto you. Okay, so just try to remember that. If you're going to put on defensive pieces of gear, you're going to have to be looking at this section here as far as trying to defend against that particular element. But it also means that you are now weak to white elemental attacks. So just keep that in mind, you know. But this is definitely something good that could help you with certain types of attacks, okay? All right, the black robe. Let's look at what's next. The white robe. And what does it do? It pretty much doesn't change any of the stats except for the orb. So now we have a white orb instead of the black or purple orb. We have the same 3 defense, the same 14 hit points, because on the right side it didn't go green or red. It's staying the same stats we've seen before. Nothing's changed here. And likely with all these other pieces of gear, we're going to look at the same exact thing. We're going to look at the green robe next. Nothing's changed except for the green orb defense. So really we're just looking at that, and we'll just go over that really fast just so you can kind of see it. The blue robe. Blue defense, stats the same. Crimson. Red defense, stats the same. Now there's probably going to be one final piece that might be a little bit different. Platinum. Now hit points go down, CP value goes up, and defense goes up to 130. Wow. That is quite good. Defense of 115, we don't get any hit points. We just get 15 solid defense points, which, honest to God, 15 solid defense points is fantastic. So for a mage to have this much extra defense will help you survive a lot of physical attacks. Mages are kind of built to do magic, so they can kind of handle magic attacks. Physical attacks, not as much. They just usually don't have that kind of defense. But this could really help you to take a hit or two from a giant monster of some kind, okay? So that's the second tier. Second tier is pretty normal, middle of the road kind of stuff. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But let's check out the final tier stuff. Earthen Vestment. Let's put this on there. Okay, so what do we get? We're going to get a whole lot of different stats now with the final tiers. Things are going to be all over the place, and you're going to have to really look at this as far as how you want to use this in your team. So 2 green defensive stats. If you're going up against a lot of Salamanders or Eliza, I don't know if this is going to be really good for you, as long as you don't put her in the front line. But this could have some good defense against a bunch of Centaurs or Mandrakes or whatever. But either way, we get 5 defense, we get 10 hit points, and we get accuracy and evasion bonus of plus 10%. So this could be really, really good for you. I've used this a lot. Earth Investment does come in handy quite a lot. So let's check out the next piece of gear here. We've got the Cursed Vestment. Okay, so you see how the stats have changed on the right? Make sure you check out what's going on the right. You can pause the video at any time, move it back, and see what's happened with some of these things, okay? So we've got 20 hit points. We have 30 MP, so a Cursed Vestment is actually quite good for mages because of the extra MP you get. And intelligence. So the Cursed Vestment could be one of the best pieces of gear here, just based upon feeding a mage more intelligence and more MP. Now you do have 2 black orbs for defense, so if Rudo comes in and attacks you, you're going to feel it a lot more than you did before, because the black orb defense is going to make you weak to the white orbs. But if Tim's coming to attack you, you might have a little better defense there. So it really depends on how you're going to play your particular knight and how you're going to move them around on the field. Okay? Alright, so we checked out those 2. Let's check out the Flaming Vestment here. Let's see what cool stats those do. Okay, so 20 hit points, 30 MP. Quite good, quite solid. I think this is about the same as the one before, except for its red defense. So let's go ahead and double check here. Usually stats change a lot, but sometimes they don't. So the Flaming and the Cursed are about the same. Let's see if the Sacred's about the same. I think we covered... yeah, we pretty much did. Let's see about the Sacred here. Okay, so that is very different. That is very different. That's not the same thing. Okay, so instead we get double white defense, hit points, we lose the MP, we gain defense and attack, we still keep the intelligence, And we got 5% evasion. So I don't know. It's up to you if you think the Sacred Vestment is better or not. We're losing MP, which I don't really want to lose. I love having extra MP. It really sometimes it comes down to the difference of you may have an extra Venom spell to push out, or an extra Frost spell, or some kind of extra spell to push out. And oh man, if I only had those 10 extra MP points, or those 20 extra MP points, I could do it. Do you know what I'm saying? This might make you a little more offensive here, which maybe the Sacred Vestment might work well for Sin, considering I think he wears light robes. So certain people in certain places this could work well for, but honestly I would probably choose, if it was my choice, I would choose the Flaming Vestment or the Cursed Vestment. Particularly, I know it shows like a lower CP value, but as far as mage is concerned, if you play the mage correctly, I think you could do better that way. But it's really up to you and what you think and how you play. So that really just kind of finishes it for the light robes for humans in this guide here. And so I want to say thank you for everybody that has tuned in, and say thanks for everybody that has subscribed and has given the video a like. I do appreciate that. But as a bonus, if you want to stick around for a little bonus, we'll go over and we'll cover what all of the All-Star Gear bonus is in this game. So there's 3 stars here for an All-Star bonus if you match all of the same colors before that character. So you're going to see that. So stick around for that if you want to see it. So let's go ahead and change back to just a priestly robe. We'll go ahead and just put on some basic little pieces of gear here. This won't take too long. But check this out here. Now look at the stats on the right, and look at the fact that I don't have a ring on her yet. Now, look at this. You can pause the video if you want to check that out, but look at all the growth we get. I'm going to go back up and back down. Boom. So that is where you see the All-Star bonus come into play. And right now it just shows 1 star. Let's show you the 2-star bonus with the purple gear sets. So let's go ahead and do that. That should be fun. Let's put on a, white robe. And let's put on a white hat. And let's also put on... We'll put on some flippers. So it does change the preference of water because we have flippers. Because flippers particularly makes you a water creature at that point of movement. So look at all the green here. So if you want to see it without and with. So there's the 2-star All-Star bonus right there, which is actually pretty good. So you see all the stats raise. So having all of the same color is going to greatly benefit you. Once you finally get this stuff, it's going to greatly benefit you. So if you have 1 gold piece of gear or weaponry or whatever, and you've got a whole set of purples, the whole set of purple gear might do better than the 1 gold gear. But that's your choice and your preference. You have to see, you have to weigh the pros and cons, okay? So a little bit of micro managing could help with that. All right, let's put on the Blizzard Rod here. Let's put on the Flaming Vestment. And let's put on the Red Lotus hat. All right, so we're going to look at the 3rd tier All-Star bonus here. Let's check this out. Look at that. So if you want to pause the video at any time just to check it out, see, you can. But now we are at all 3-star bonus with all the gold gear that we can get. And we made her pretty strong. Intelligence is quite good. Defense 147, really good. She can take a few hits now without going down too fast. And yeah, MP 520. Dang. So that'll pretty much do it for the video here today. I hope that everybody enjoyed it. If you did, definitely give me a like for the video here, or give me a subscribe. One of the two would be great. But other than that, next up we're going to cover the monster armor in this game because we haven't really covered the monster vestments yet. And then after that, we'll do headpiece armor, and we'll pretty much be done for that. And then after that, I'm going to cover knights. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to cover all the knights and give a little bit of a fun tutorial with that. So thanks for coming by, and I will see you tomorrow, or I'll see you in the next helpful guide video or the next LP video coming out here. I'm still working on Holy Gustava Empire, so that will be done by the end of summer, I think, or the beginning of fall. But either way, thanks for coming by, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.